Shalom, everybody. This is Rabbi Stuart Dauerman, and into faithfulness, where we're building bridges, where history builds walls. What are we going to build together after the COVID-19 pandemic cools down? When we come out of sequestered hiding, what are we going to build together? That's an important question. I think many of us are realizing you just can't go back to business as usual. That's a good thing, by the way, because business as usual may not have been taking care of the Father's business. That's an interesting question. And that raises this question that we're going to be dealing with for a few videos. What are Yeshua's people supposed to be doing? This is just part one. It's an overview. It's a good question. What are Yeshua's people supposed to be doing? Let's take a look at this question together. Here you have a chart, and gathered around this central question are 6 sub-points. Let's just look at them briefly, and then in succeeding videos we'll look at them in greater detail. First of all, up there at 1 o'clock, we're supposed to be forming outposts of the kingdom. Our gatherings are not just coffee clutches, they're not only Bible studies, they're not only prayer meetings, they're more than that. They're outposts of the kingdom. We're supposed to be embodying a kingdom which took a great leap forward when Yeshua came, died for our sins, rose from the grave, ascended to the Father's right hand, and sent forth the Spirit. We'll be looking at more about that in another session. But go down here to 3 o'clock with me. Number 2, we're supposed to be forming what we at Interfaithfulness call Be'erot, that means wells. Face-to-face gatherings of the Father's family. That would be Chavarot in a Jewish context. That would be home churches in a Christian context. These are face-to-face gatherings of the Father's family. And they need to be face-to-face. Don't think that bigger is always better. In this case, bigger is not better. Smaller is better. Because everybody wants to go where everybody knows your name. Let's go down to 6 o'clock here. Number 3, we should be maturing in the family likeness. If we're part of the Father's family, do we look like the Father? Who looks like the Father best? Yeshua, our righteous Messiah. Are we bearing his image, or do we bear other images as we go around the world, go around and face people in the streets and in our day-to-day lives? We need to mature in the family likeness. Number 4, there at 7 o'clock, we need to demonstrate the obedience of faith for the sake of his name. Paul speaks about this, and we need to talk about it too. What does it mean? What does the obedience of faith look like for home churches? What does it look like for Chavarot? What does it look like for Gentiles? What does it look like for Jews? That's a good question. We'll be looking at that in a future session. Let's go up there at about 9 o'clock. We need to be expressing and expanding the kingdom. We can't just be ingrown. We can't just be all involved with one another. It's what Peter Wagner used to call koinonitis. Koinonitis is fellowship for its own sake. It's like an infection. That's not what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be expressing the nature of the kingdom and expanding that kingdom. We'll talk later about what that's about. But let's go up there at 11 o'clock. We should be multiplying other gatherings like our own, not just adding to the size of ours, because the bigger ours gets, the less able we are to have this kind of face-to-face relationship. No, we should be multiplying other such gatherings. There's a lot to talk about here, isn't there? We'll be talking about it in future sessions. And posted along with this video is the address of a blog post that summarizes what we've just discussed together. So go visit that blog, and while you're there, sign up for our newsletter, and we'll see you again here at YouTube with Interfaithfulness as we look at this question in greater detail. But for now, Shalom and Shabbat Shalom. Bye-bye.